Okay, guys, Monday night, they roll around fast, but tonight we have a guest appearance from Shaney Fox, all the way from Melbourne, from White Fox. Many of you guys will know Marty Fox. I know there's a lot of Marty Fox followers on here. We're going to talk to you about the difference between real estate in Melbourne and real estate in Sydney. My goodness, there's a lot. Stay tuned, guys. We're having a laugh because, first of all, we have a little glass of chicken red here, but also Shaney's like, oh, my God, you've even got an intro. This is so cool. So, guys, we wanted to talk tonight. This is Shaney.
Hello.
Shaney,
thanks for having me up in Sydney.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. Good.
So Shaney's actually spending a couple of days with us because she is doing a little bit of on-the-job training with us, taking away a few little secret herbs and spices, which is awesome. And it's been an absolute pleasure having Shaney. But I'll tell you one thing that was really quite bizarre. We've been talking all day about, so can you do this down in Victoria? She's like, no, this is what we have to do.
A lot of differences.
So many differences. So we were going to talk about it tonight. And also we just want to have a little bit of a chat about what's going on with the Melbourne market versus the Sydney market. It's all over the shop at the moment, isn't it? It's crazy.
And they're so different. The two markets are
It's unbelievable.
Different.
It is unbelievable. So let's talk a little bit about it. First of all, what is going on down in Victoria with your market? And I know we do get a lot of Victorian viewers as well.
Yes. What's
Melbourne, happening?
It's Melbourne.
So talk to us. What's We're just going to have a little chit chat. What's happening?
So we have seen that there hasn't been enough stock in the past few months.
Yeah.
But if anything, I can guarantee there are a lot of listings going to come on because my appraisals the last 2 weeks, I've appraised about 11 or 12 properties, and that's huge.
Wow.
So I think this last interest rate rise might have started hitting people.
Yeah.
Obviously, coupled with the land tax issues that people are facing, I think we're going to see a lot of stock hit the market ahead of spring. That's where I'm at down there.
And properties in Victoria or Melbourne, are they selling at market value? Are you seeing them selling well above guide? You know, what are you saying? Or is it a little bit of everything like in Sydney?
Look, buyers are holding back, we're finding, unless it's in an open market scenario where there's the safety in numbers mentality. We're finding an auction at the moment is probably going better than a private behind closed doors, private treaty with a private negotiation or an expressions of interest campaign.
Okay.
So what about capital growth? The
like
figures man strikes. So you on year would you be saying down 10%?
7 to 8 where I'm transacting.
Wow. Okay. And the market is it projected to strengthen by the end of the year? Because that's certainly what I think is going to happen here in Sydney. What do you reckon is going to happen down there in Melbourne?
Look, it's a supply and demand driven market, isn't it? So just from what I'm seeing in terms of the levels of stock that will come on, I think it's probably going to level it out. I don't think it's going to, the prices will increase dramatically, but I think it'll probably just level out.
Okay.
It's the most common question the client asks you these days in a Melbourne market.
Should I be selling now?
What do you say?
Yeah. If you need to sell, you should be selling, especially if you're buying and selling. I think it's that age old, and we were discussing it earlier today. If you're buying and selling in the same market, it's fine because you're going to be making your money on the buy.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. The rental market. What's happening down there in Melbourne with the rental market?
Probably nearing 1% vacancy. It's really tight.
Wow.
Yeah, really tight.
Big the rents going up.
Yeah. I mean, we're capped, and I'm not property market property management expert. It is veering out of my lane slightly, but I mean, we're capped. I think there's a 10% range we've got to show comps to increase the rent. So I do know that landlords are approaching our team wanting the rents increased dramatically, hearing these reports of low vacancy, but we're unable to do it.
That is extremely low vacancy. Now, you just said a word that we discussed today during our sales meeting, and that was landlord. Tell me about this.
Oh, this is a cracker.
Tell me about this.
Back just a bit. Yes. This
Guys,
is a
also
cracker.
just give us a bit of a thumbs up if you can't. Let us know if you can't hear us, because we are sitting in a noisy restaurant and we are having just our little vino. We've just got some lapel mics on, so just let us know if you can't hear us. Welcome from Tassie.
That's Tasmania. It's different.
Oh, Tanzania. Okay, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Tasmania. Okay, tell us what's this word, landlord.
We're going international.
Now, tell me what's going on with the word landlord.
Okay, there were some changing of rules and regulations with our REIV down in Victoria.
Yep. That's the Real Estate Institute of Victoria.
We are no longer able to use the word landlord. It is now rental housing provider, because landlord was deemed as a term that was derogatory, had derogatory connotations to the tenant, who we now are not able to call tenant, they're the renter.
Okay, guys, did you hear this? Because this is all new to us.
What do you think about it? What do you think about it?
Keen to hear what you think. So no more are you allowed to refer to a landlord in Victoria as landlord, and no more are you allowed to refer to a tenant as a tenant. I don't understand the tenant connotation.
I sort
and
of
why
like
you've
it.
got to say
I
renter.
sort of like it, but I sort of don't like it.
Well, rental housing provider and renter. They've just tried to tighten it,
because I've always laughed about the whole lordship thing, the whole land, the whole lord. Not even land. How are you a lord?
Master bedroom.
I get it. I get it.
That'll be next. I think that might have
Where
gone.
does it start? Where does it end?
I don't get it.
From Paris.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I can't believe it. That is actually crazy, and I'll be interested to know.
That's happened. It's in.
It's in. I'll be interested to know if that is actually going to filter through to the rest of the country.
100%.
It's quite unbelievable.
Melbourne.
No, we've got to be kind. Be kind.
I think Melbourne's trying to be a bit trend setting, and I think
I have to say,
they may just pull this one off.
People from
They
Melbourne.
may just pull this one
Actually,
off.
love people from Melbourne. Now, the other thing that I found that was really interesting was in terms of how you can transact property, Shani. It's only by auction
that we are able to go forward with an unconditional sale.
Okay.
We are bound by a 3-day cooling off.
Did you know this, Mark?
No.
Yeah, we're bound by a 3-day cooling off for all private sales and expressions of interest.
Can you waive that 3-day cool off? Wow.
Can you extend the 3-day cooling off period?
Well, you can make it conditional, subject to finance, subject to building and pest inspection, subject to receipt of a satisfactory certificate if you want. You can put all of these different clauses in that make it conditional, but you can't make it unconditional.
Okay.
So for viewers at home, 5-day cooling off for Sydney, and you can waive it with a 66W certificate, or you can lengthen it.
Shani didn't even know what a 66W was.
Yeah.
These guys don't have that down in
That's
Victoria.
a pretty huge difference. And we can't. And in
difference.
Sydney, we can't do the whole subject to finance thing. It's like you're in or you're out, kid.
Unbelievable. So in terms of the wobbly chair, in terms of the markets, though, it sounds like you guys are pretty much on par with the Sydney market.
Yeah, I think we're always traditionally there's a slight lag there, but
Melbourne lagging behind Sydney.
Yes.
I would agree with that. I feel like things seem to happen here first before they're happening down in Melbourne. I feel like we get to see it first.
Sydney's superior in that way.
Well, then New Zealand's superior to Sydney because it tends to happen across the ditch.
This is true.
Then Sydney.
This is true. And again, we had an agent here a couple of weeks ago from the UK, and he was talking about how the market over there is thriving and that their interest rates have already started to come off. So we seem to lag behind those guys about 3 to 6 months. What else can you tell us about the Melbourne market?
Susie loves the 66W.
Hey, Suze. Hope you're well.
She loves that.
Susie's a great friend of mine, also in real estate. What else can you tell us about the Melbourne market and how it differs?
What else can I tell you? Gosh.
Property prices. Tell me about your average property price.
Can you just tell me spending a day with us today?
Yes. Okay, hang on, wait. I'll just come back to that because that's a really good one. But tell me about average property price where you are. So you're based in
Port Melbourne. Port Phillip.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, my average sale price is 1.75 million.
Okay. So what do you get for that?
That's 3-bedroom family home on maybe 220 20 square meters, something like that.
Right,
Something
okay.
blocks.
Little blocks.
Little
So a
blocks.
little bit cheaper than here.
Mm.
Our lead-in property for a
Not
three-bedder
really,
now.
because that's a small block. That's a really small block. I
Yeah.
reckon it's similar. I reckon it's
Is that a
comparable.
normal block size?
Well, no, it's probably 250 would be a
Okay.
normal block.
Yeah, but if that was
Wow.
a 500, 600 metre square block, entry level,
Well, I just sold a 350 square meter block, 2.2. That was
yeah,
four
see?
bedroom.
So
Okay, they're little.
It's I reckon similar price.
They're small block
Just wanna
sizes.
squeeze
Yeah,
into
our
us.
average block size on the northern beaches, and again, it varies from area to area. But you're sort of looking at around 500 to 600 square meters. So decent.
Sounds
double.
good.
But we're in a city. Remember, you guys. We're
Yes.
driving an hour. We get to
Right.
these guys. But you know, our premier strip in Port Phillip. I mean, we're right near the city. We're
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah, fair call.
Beach city.
Yeah.
Small blocks.
Fair call. Spending the day with us today, and I must say it was probably not your average day. We started off a little bit slow because we had our sales caravans where we go and have a look at all the new stock that's coming on, and
Lot of
then
fun.
we kind of had a sales kind of meeting, but we really just ate lunch, which we don't ever do. What do you reckon? What'd you learn?
So
What was the
much
one
fun.
thing that you learned today?
I've got to put a camera in my face a little bit more than I do because I'm very bad at it, and these guys are so good at it, and you guys all love it. and I
Okay,
didn't
can you
realise.
imagine
That's
that
what you learned.
this
Is
lady?
that what you learned? That was
No,
that was a
no.
what was the takeaway?
No, but hang on. But listen, guys, you tell me. This is a lady who doesn't do any social media.
Yeah.
And look at how natural she's sitting here and doing this.
Because she's a real estate agent.
No, this is a natural. No. This
All
is
real
not
est-
normal. This is a
Oh,
natural.
you know, I laugh about
This
real
is a
estate
natural.
agents. You know the old country real estate agents. 40 years they've been a real estate agent. They are in a pub and they own it. They're like got all their buddies around, they chat, and as soon as those old-fashioned agents who put a camera in front of their faces, they're like, no. It's like these are the most confident guys in town,
Yeah.
but they don't want to be in front of a camera. But it happens. But real estate agents are good.
Conversation left.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got to say, landing today and walking into Novak Properties and not knowing what I was going to expect, except obviously what I'd seen of Lisa
crazy
online, I was just struck by what a friendly, welcoming, big family business, very similar to White Fox. We're very much aligned. I can see why
I think
Marty
so
and Lisa
too.
get on so well.
Yeah.
It's just so lovely because it's not those traditional, really scary, suited and booted agro real estate agents, which I'm sorry
Yeah.
if there are any out there, but that's not my bag, and it's not
Yeah.
your bag, and it's lovely
It's
too.
me though.
It is.
Yeah.
So I didn't say it's not your bag.
What you see is what you get. Look, there's one of my best girlfriends online at the moment, Susie. What you see is what you get. But hopefully you've taken away a few little points. As I mentioned, for those of you guys that have just tuned in, Shani is with us from White Fox in Melbourne. She's come up for a couple of days of training. We've been swapping a few great little tips, which is awesome. I love that we can work in the same industry and that, we can do this. And honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure.
And
It
I
really
love that
has.
Marty's Serbian and I'm Serbian.
Marty's Serbian Irish.
No,
Serbian Irish, is he?
No,
Yeah,
the Serbian,
that's me.
the Serbian
Really?
dominates.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
it
can't
does.
even acknowledge it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
you go.
No,
yeah.
just big thanks to both of you guys. It's been a wonderful
Aw.
day. Can't wait for tomorrow. And
Can't wait for tomorrow. You might change your mind after tomorrow. No, I'm only joking. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to go and have our steak frites. And that's it. Quick little show tonight. But thank you guys for tuning in. It's the Sydney versus Melbourne, the little, state of origin.
We're
See ya.
exchanging our IP.
We are.
It could be a very dangerous chemical weapon we're making.
Nah. Sharing is caring. I love it. See you guys.
Bye.
See ya, bye.